Is there a bird on there? There's the boy. Hey. Everybody's coming at once. You want to? You want to go play?
My name's John.
You want to go play with your blocks? Go say hi to Grandpa. Sorry, a lot going on at once.
Oh, no worries. I understand.
He says he has to go poo-poo. I might have to take a second break.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Kids come first.
Yeah. So you're in Canada, yeah?
I am, yes.
British Columbia?
Up on the Upper Sunshine Coast.
I don't know anything about Canada other than like 3 states. I've never been there. Would like to go.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and you're welcome to come. We've got some amazing, I don't like the word amazing, we have spectacular views and the farmers markets, and like I was telling you about the Vale. You know, I was looking for some videos to send you, and like we have art jams and high tea croquet. You know, I'm dressed up in my tutu and my suit, my top. Community gets together, we have fun, you know.
Nice.
So yeah, you're more than welcome. Bring your family. It's always family orientated stuff as well. So
you said the Vale. Where's that located again?
The Vale is just north of Powell River, which is south of Lund, and Lund is the town at the very beginning. It's at mile 0 of Highway 101. I think Highway 101 goes right through the states.
But it's in Canada as well?
Yeah, it starts in Canada, and then I believe it goes all the way down the west coast to the tip of Chile. I think there's a gap between North and South America, but that highway runs all the way from north to south.
Yeah, Highway 101 runs through California as well.
No, I'm on that highway. I'm at the beginning of the highway or the end of the highway.
Yeah. Nice.
I find it interesting being 101 and being at the Vale and all the different kind of synchronicities of work in the Matrix and different aspects of that. So
just a different spelling, right? VALE?
LUND is
Lund?
Yeah, LUND.
Huh. How often do you go there? Do you live there?
I was there today because we had to go to Sharps. I go there periodically, but I actually live and do a lot of house sitting so I'm north and south of town. It's kind of a remote community to a certain extent because you have to take 2 ferries from Vancouver to get to Powell River. And then I live north of that. So I've got mountains behind me and the traditional lands of the Tlayamman people is all in there. So we get not much traffic. I have bears and cougars and deer. The deer in the garden, I'm talking to him, and he's stomping his foot because he doesn't want to hear what I have to say.
I'm going to get you a spoon. Hold on. Oh, you go.
Hi. How you doing?
Say hi.
Hi. I used to teach boys and girls about your age swimming lessons.
Oh, yeah?
Do you swim?
I don't think he's swimming yet. You don't swim, right, Jackson? Do you swim?
Yeah, he wades, probably.
Yeah. Maybe?
He's a wager.
Blow bubbles from the bathtub?
Yeah, he swims in the bathtub, that's right.
Swim in the bathtub? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He swims in the bathtub.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, I saw you got it.
Did you see it before?
That's the same phone I have.
Same price, a 6S.
Yeah, that's what I have.
That's what I got, because that's the best one.
New phones.
But see, you know what I read in the paper? Wozniak, Steve Wozniak, you know,
Yeah, the
he
Apple
started Apple
co-founder.
with Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
He said they were wanting to know if he wanted the iPhone, what, 8 or 9 or something like that. He says, well, the 8 and the 7 and the 9 or whatever are all the same as the 6. So I don't need it. That's what he said.
They're all the same, except for the. After the 6, there hasn't been a lot of new technology.
Yeah.
It's just been increasing in capacity.
This is just about right size.
Yeah.
It's a nice picture, big picture. And I got black with black. I bought this with it too, this case.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a nice one, Otter, I don't know. I guess it's Apple.
Yep. You gotta not break it. So, John, did you get any? You said we're trying to get footage at all?
Yeah, I was able to get some of the footage this morning, and then when I tried sending you the email, it said that the file is too big, and I wasn't sure how to make that file smaller and then to be able to send that to you.
You're supposed to be able to compress it, like make it a zip file.
Okay.
But it's also just hard to. You just have to do some research on how to send larger files. Or if you have a channel yourself, you could upload it to your channel and I could just mirror it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll work on it. I'm not much on the technological state of things, but I was like a good challenge. So, and I need to learn the skills too. So.
Yeah. Just do a little bit of research on how to send large files, and if you can get it to me, I'll try and throw it up there.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, it's starting to warm up. I was thinking the frogs might be speaking tonight if we're real lucky. So.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Yeah. It's always nice to have those nighttime sounds when you're going to sleep.
Yeah, right. Crickets and whatnot. Do you have any animals ever trying to come in the house?
In the house?
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, on the last video I did, I went into the compost toilet, and there's toilet paper strung all over it because a squirrel got in through the top, in through the rafters, and took out the big long string of toilet paper, the big nest material was. So it's like, you guys, you got to put the lid on the toilet paper.
Your house got TP'd by a squirrel?
No.
Yeah.
Outhouse.
Oh, it was the outhouse. It wasn't your actual house.
No, it's the outhouse, but
Okay.
like where I do the cooking and things like that in the saloon, sometimes people leave a door open. The birds that fly in, some different things like that. But into the little place that I've got, there's no way to actually get into it. I drilled one hole for electrical, and then I plugged that with steel wool. So it's all good, but you just have to be careful because there's still bears, or there were bears around up until last week.
Right. Don't leave food out and stuff like that.
Where is he?
Yeah.
He's in Canada,
Where?
British Columbia.
Where?
What's the city called again?
It's called Paul River. Have you ever heard of Texada Time Warp?
Falls River.
Paul's River?
Falls.
Howell River.
Howell.
Powell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up. I don't know exactly.
My dad will know more where that's at. I have no idea.
Okay.
He's gonna look it up.
Well, from where I live, you can see Texada Island, and it was a world-class. If you go someplace and you say you're from Canada, British Columbia, and they'll say, like they're trying to sell you weed down there, say in Mexico, they say Texada Time Warp. And you can go almost anywhere in the world, and people know about Texada Time Warp. So that's kind of where we are.
Texada?
Yeah, Texada Time Warp.
Texada Time Warp?
I mean, hey?
Why do they know that? What does that mean?
Because it is a world class quality marijuana.
Oh, okay. So it's like the strain of plant that they're talking about.
This is Powell River.
Powell.
Powell River
right
or
here.
Powell City?
Powell River. here.
River.
Yeah,
Right
Powell
here,
River.
Right there. This is the U.S. starting here, Washington. This is British Columbia. Here. So it's pretty much towards Vancouver.
show
It's
the
not
camera.
that far from Vancouver.
So this is Canada. This is the U.S. border. There goes a chair. So Powell River is like here.
You got to pull your map up
no,
just a
Powell
little
River
bit.
is the name of the town.
Where is it
It's
again?
the town.
Where is it?
Right about there.
No. So
It's right up. Yeah, there you go.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's on the west. It's on the west, like southwest coast.
Yeah. There's the Sunshine Coast Trail that runs right through here,
Mm.
and the Trans-Canada Trail.
Okay, I can remember that.
Yeah, that looks like pretty. Of course, there's big cities in Vancouver's pretty big.
Yeah.
Of course, British Columbia is large. Hi.
Hi,
This
how
is,
you
this
doing?
is the dad.
I like wild.
John.
I like wild places where there's a lot of
Yes,
wildlife
yeah.
and it's not a lot of civilization evident.
Yeah, that's where I spent most of my life. I used to guide up in the farm, salmon and Arctic nights.
It's not coming through.
Oh.
I know it's bad signal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of got saddened in my heart in the island for the antlers and things. So I stopped that and started doing more eco trips for people, so they can take like videos of the land and just sit there and listen to the trees or burbling of a brook or whatever.
So people that are coming to visit, you give them guides.
If they want it, yeah. Like right now is a great mushroom season for chanterelles and pine mushrooms and
Yeah. I like the
lobsters and all kinds of things. And right around the Vale, because of where we are, there's a lot of old growth that have been in there.
Yeah.
So there's just tons of these mushrooms, and I think we've got 3 mushroom buyers in town right now, and they're at like prime price.
Dad, you're supposed to go play blocks with him.
Oh.
He's saying Grandpa come. You're gonna get in trouble if you don't.
Yeah. I know. That could be bad. Real bad.
So you said you said your email was interesting. You said you got ran over by a tractor and among some other things.
Yeah.
You want to tell that story a little bit?
Sure, because it changed my life, and I've been able to share it with some other people, and doing personal reflection, and I see that as a lot of why I've come back or why I'm here.
Yeah.
So
How old were you?
yeah, I was 24 at the time. It was May 5th, 1985 at 11:55. I also do numerology. So.
May 5th, 1985 is only 2 months before I was born.
Oh wow! Wow.
I was July 3rd, 85.
Well, I just finished up college, fish and wildlife major, and I had gone to Red Deer, Alberta to find a place for my girlfriend and I to move into, and was looking for work. She had got a job as an interior decorator. I've been living in my truck, and I've been snaring gophers and eating gophers.
You're eating
beans
gophers?
and all this kind of thing. Yeah, no, they're good. It's like squirrel or whatever. It's just a ground squirrel.
Yeah.
So, like, and there's marshy areas so you can go get cattail roots and different tubers like that. A bit early for berries, but you know, I'm resourceful. So,
Nice.
so I'm out doing this thing, and all of a sudden I got the apartment, and I got a job, and I was going to be foreman for this landscape crew and working at the U-Haul storage place, kind of like a double business for them.
Yeah.
And I'd had this big trailer that we hauled this tractor on. It had a front end loader and a PTO driven rototiller, a small farm tractor
Right.
for moving wheels or whatever. And we had the trailer in the garage, and I've been rewiring it so that I could haul it around with correct lighting and everything. And because the U-Haul dealership was there, we had to rewire this other vehicle, and I had parked next to the offices. It's I think it's sky blue. It's like a BMW or something, like some fancy pants car, and then this little blonde-haired girl that was standing out beside it. And so I'm watching her as I'm moving the tractor and everything like this. I came up and hooked on the trailer to the tongue of the trailer, and my boss put a chain around the tongue and then around the bucket. But when he put the chain on, he hooked it from underneath and not over top. And so when I was pulling the tractor out, I was going out and around the building, away from the car, away from the girl, and I was going up an incline, and I was on a gravel approach that went onto the pavement. The gravel with some gravel sprayed onto the pavement, and when I went up over that, because there's a little bump, there was a bit of a bounce that went into the chain and created some slack, and the hook came undone and started to slide, and the trailer was going down the incline. And I was thinking, oh no, like this little girl, the car, all this stuff. So I pushed the throttle down to absolutely nothing. I pushed the bucket down to nothing. I put it into neutral. Mm-hmm. And then as I went to get off the tractor, like I've got big feet. I've got like 15 double E's.
15?
15, 1-5.
How tall are you?
That's why they call me Sasquatch.
Are you like 7 feet tall?
6'3" and a bit.
Okay, so you're not that tall. That's really big. Big feet, yeah.
Things are big.
You're Bigfoot. Okay.
Yeah. So I slowed everything down, and as I was getting off, my foot was on the clutch, and I brought my foot between the gear shift and the pedestal for the seat, and I kicked it into first gear. Like I'm going fast, and by the time I got off the tractor, it was already driving ahead, and it had started to drive onto my leg, like onto my foot. It was like, holy fuck. So I didn't think. I tried pushing it off, and I didn't do anything.
Right.
So then I reached the steering wheel, and I got like a third of a turn. And 3 times I got this partial turn in, but it was running up my leg and sucking me down.
Yeah.
So I was losing my momentum to turn the wheel. And I got so far, it ripped my arm off the steering wheel, and I pulled it back like a half turn. And I went up between my legs and broke my hip in 3. When it went over my ankle, it pushed a rock into my ankle, and then up between my legs, broke my hip in 3, then ruptured my spleen in 5. And when I heard my hip break, I just freaked. So I did this full push-up, and it literally drove up my back between my left shoulder and my face. One of the tire treads caught my face and then dragged me down into the pavement, put a rock in the side of my head here, and then broke my face in 3 places here.
So you were on your stomach?
Yeah. I was on my stomach because I was trying to steer the tractor down, and then I just was...
And it rolled up your right hand side?
Up my left-hand side.
Left-hand side, okay.
Yeah. And then when it came down off my shoulder, the rototiller, PTO driven rototiller, came down into the pavement like 3/4 of an inch, about 3 fingers away from my head.
Whew.
So I was like super close to getting squished. But as soon as I heard my face crack, I went immediately, like I had no fear through the whole experience. And it's just, I really surrendered into it after it came down, because I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I did the best I could in the moment, and then that was it. And there's like the echo of my skull cracking sent me into this blackness. And as I arrived, as I sensed this place of being, I was welcomed with this sense of unconditional love. And as soon as I sensed that feeling, I started having a life review. And everything that I had chosen to do that was not of loving, whether it was like wrestling with my brother and farting on his face or stealing mojos from the tomboy store, or things not of integrity, of accountability, responsibility, where I hurt others emotionally, physically, spiritually, I relived that from their perspective.
From their perspective.
From their perspective.
Yeah.
And as soon as I went through all of that, I then was reliving the experiences of myself reflected in others for the things that I did of loving, compassion, nurturing, like an earthworm in a puddle and putting them into the grass and away from the rock and the trees, or
nice.
Or the lady with the mustache and the cane, and it's like, here, have $100, and walk away. It's like those kinds of different things. Or there's a bump in the road and fill in the pothole.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Wow.
And then once I went through all those experiences, I then sensed myself as this living light with colors and vibrations that I can't express in words. I can hold that presence to the best of my ability and offer that to people that way. And and often children will recognize some of this, I believe. That's what they're seeing when they're looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
It is the sense of being that I experienced during that time of personal reflection. And since that time, I've chosen to make these choices because that I know that everything that I am, and when I be the best that I can be, everything changes. I am that butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
I've got like an old scar or something back here. It looks like a butterfly. And I've got other things that people recognize me. I'll go to a sweat and the shamans will call me the same name, or I'll go someplace and they'll say, "Oh, we heard the White Wolf Spirit was coming," or
wow.
"Yeah, my dead brother spoke through a psychic and said you're going to come help us in the family." Like a year and a half before I show up someplace, different communities I'm called to. "Oh, there you are." I dreamt.
Wow.
So I don't know what's happened, but when I go to, like when I went to Mexico, like the kids were following me around and the parrots would follow me, and it was so cool.
So how did you come out of that experience? If you were doing the life review things, how did you end up coming back into the body?
Well, once I had that sense of that unconditional love, and I sensed, heard, I am unconditional love. Like there's a knowing with a capital K that I am unconditional love.
Yeah.
I don't express it very well sometimes. and basically I had that knowing, and for the time period that it took, it would have taken weeks, if not months, to relive those things, but it's in a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
And I then came back through that dark.
You're freezing up a bit. Still there?
And Watts came running up, and he was in shock. So I told him how to treat me for shock. I told him to call 911, and I told him where the blankets were. I think it was room 12, room 11, to cover me up, raise my feet, get the secretary to call the ambulance. And I just basically laid there. I had enough presence of mind to work with my breathing. I've been trained in life-saving and different things like that through a variety of different training. So I kind of knew what I needed to do for myself and just followed through with that.
When you came back, was the shock worn off, or were you just in immense pain as soon as you came back?
No, there's absolutely no pain whatsoever. I was in shock. I was speaking fluently, even when the paramedics came to get me. They were asking me questions, and I was making fun. I was making smart ass jokes.
Yeah.
It's like, this has happened, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I didn't feel anything until I got to the operating or the examination table, and once they started probing around, it's like, oh, I gained like 3.5 inches from internal bleeding just from the time that they picked me up to the time that they got me into the hospital.
Was there a lot of blood involved? Like, were you bleeding out of your head injuries and all that?
There's some coming out of my head and some out of my ankle, but a lot of it was going into my boot because I had because it was high leather boot.
Yeah.
For the most part, it was just all caved in on the side here. Eventually, like, they went in, they pulled out the rocks, and they put in
you when you were 1.
my ankle. And they kept drilling behind into my head here, and then they pushed my face out from the inside, so that there's I don't know, that's how they fixed me anyway. They just pushed my face
like a milk carton, right? It's got a dent in it, and you stick
Yeah.
You're kind of breaking up a little bit. I'll be done in a minute, baby. Okay? Did you make a castle? Yeah?
Come.
You still there, John? Yeah, I'm gonna be there in just a little bit. Just a bit, baby. Hello? Oh, wow. I can see. Jackson made a tower.
No, I made it.
You made that?
Yeah. He couldn't do it. That's way too tall.
He could do it.
No, he couldn't.
Could you have made that tower that was twice as tall as you?
Dad, look! A castle!
John, you still there? I think he's... Nope, he's gone.
Mhm.
I guess that's it.
Who was that guy?
He's a subscriber
What's that?
on my channel,
What channel was that?
YouTube.
Oh, you mean he gets every new one you make out, comes to his phone or whatever? Or his...
Yeah. If I make videos, then he's essentially one of the people that can watch.
Huh. Ow. Hey, no.
Hopefully this one
We
works.
mustn't abuse the house.